Welcome back to Cherries Extra, and I can't believe we're making another video about this particular situation, but let's do it anyway. So, Adam Smith come out and spoke to Abrahams, who is commonly known as Moose, about his career and whether or not he's still enjoying his football. Basically, he said, no, not really, not every day. And mainly down to the abuse that he's been getting and others have been getting in our squad. And it got me thinking again. And do you know what? This is an absolute disgrace on behalf of this football club. It really is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it up. I'm not going to sugarcoat it up. It is an absolute disgrace that, a player, a seasoned professional, is coming out and saying this. And again, we was beaten by Leicester City last night, 1-0. Don't get me wrong. You can criticise players. You can say that players didn't have a particularly good game. You can say that players were subpar. But there was a comment that I watched back on iPlayer as well, and it was quite clear as day what was said to one of the players, and it seems like that comment was aimed at Philip Billing. Now, Philip Billing is, and I've always said this about Philip, he's a confidence player. When his confidence dips, he struggles, but he is technically, you know, a gifted player. He's a fantastic player to have in the squad. But we've seen it before, and actually, funny enough, it was actually the Leicester game in the Premier League last season where we actually saw that, where his confidence just took a nosedive, and he was struggling, and then he got his goal, and it picked him back up again. But we've seen this over and over and over and over and over again from our fans. And do you know what? It is just a disgrace. I'm not worried about coming out and saying this. We have seen this towards other players. Lloyd Kelly, let's be honest, Lloyd Kelly had some bad games. That Burnley game was really, really disappointing. Didn't know really where he went from there, but at the end of the day, he picked himself back up. But some fans can't get over that. For some reason, some fans really belittled him at that time. And, it's an absolute disgrace. And no wonder he is not wanted to sign a new contract with this club. He's got no affiliation with this football club before he signed for us. Now, it's all well and good having legends like Steve Fletcher, and he is a legend, but he got it as well years ago. But this is on a whole different new scale. You know where I'm going next with this. Gary O'Neill. Now, Gary O'Neill was called a PE teacher, called a clown. There was pictures of clown. There was also a really distasteful, GIF or something. Well, it was like a little, and it was just comparing him. And there was even one with him dressed up as Osama bin Laden. This man is ninth in the Premier League. Now, I do not get our fan base at this moment in time because it's just disgraceful. Fans should be coming together behind their side. I can understand the Ryan Fraser situation. A player who, you could tell didn't want to be here, didn't really support his manager. I can understand that. I still don't understand and don't agree with some of the songs that are sang, but, I can understand the frustration and the anger towards him. But players like Lloyd Kelly and managers like Gary O'Neill is a totally different thing. And to be honest, I'm going to even compare it to get against my own situation where I was absolutely hammered and continue to be hammered to this day by people, by individuals, because I had a difference of opinion that I thought Gary O'Neill was a fantastic manager who, actually saved us from relegation. A side who under Scott Parker would have definitely gone down. I think it says it all that stupid idiots are deciding. And, I've seen them. I am going to be honest, I have seen them, but, trying to, pinpoint and pick things on me when I don't even know the foggiest what is going on in the background. It's an absolute joke, our fan base. And there is, I don't get it. I don't get it. This football club, is all about, you know, protecting each other, all about supporting each other, all about mental health. And there's idiots that are going online and making videos, about me, and altering it slightly, to make it sound like I've said something completely different. The Reading stuff always comes up. Do you know what? That is past me. It really is past me. It's not an offence, really. It's just patheticness. It is up to the individual what they want to do with their life. It's not up to somebody on the other end of a screen, for example. You see this with other fan bases as well. You see, and to be honest, there was one fan I get on really, really well with this man. I'm not naming him. I'm not naming him because it's not fair on him. But somebody, he put a picture of himself in the from the gym up on Twitter, and somebody has used that when that man would not hurt a fly. And I tell you what, it's an absolute disgrace. Some football fans need to have their heads checked because it is disgusting. Comments like this actually hurt people. Comments like you're making actually hurt people. Trying to pin things on people which aren't something that they've done, it hurts people. Making comments about Lloyd Kelly and Gary O'Neill and Philip Billing and abusing them online hurts people, especially when it's a player who, we all know lacks confidence but gives his all. If we are relegated from the Premier League, I actually would apportion some of the blame to our football fans, our fan base. Now, to be honest, the majority of the idiots that are doing this sort of thing don't actually follow this channel. They don't follow the main channel. And do you know what? I'd rather keep it like that. But at the same time, it is an absolute, utter disgrace. Absolute, utter disgrace. And then there's some people even taking the mick out of Smithy's comments. Smithy has been here since, for years. He's been with us through the leagues. And some fans don't even have the decency to actually listen to him. I know that I'm losing my rag a little bit with this, and I'm not going to apologize for it. It's not me being abusive, it's me being direct and straight. I'm sick and tired of, players being abused, fans being abused, managers being abused by a fan base who, let's be honest, should and have stuck together in the past. I know a lot of these hanger-ons, that, to be honest, they weren't there back in the day. In 2008, they probably wondered what happened. But I'm going to be honest, it's a passion thing. This is what Cherries Extra is for. Um, it's just an absolute disgrace. Absolutely disgrace what is going on at the moment. And idiots make it. I don't get it. I really, really, really don't get it. Biscuit Boy was one thing that was aimed at me the other day. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I'm just pleased I'm living in your head rent free, because at the end of the day, I haven't done anything to anybody, and I'll continue not doing anything to anybody. I'll continue airing my own opinion. because that is my right. You're welcome to air your opinion. But as soon as it becomes abusive, then to be honest, you know, how I was taught and how most people should be taught is that your opinion is devalued at that point. I'll say no more. I'll say no more. At the end of the day, some fans need to have a good, hard look in the mirror and be better. And maybe heed Adam Smith's words.